Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna be starting this out now. I'm actually still tweaking, making sure that my audio is correct. Yeah, so I'm testing out here for the first time having audio on top of my on my stream. So that's pretty fun. Let's see how that goes. So if anyone jumps into the chat or anything, just let me know if it's too loud. So yeah, let's just get right to it. What I wanted to do is I'm going to continue working on my Space Invaders prototype. So let's just see if that starts up. I did a series of these. Let's see, it's not as comfortable having this in the background as I had thought. Let's see. Like so. Okay. Let's just see how this goes. I'm just practicing as well. Okay. Maybe I'll just find music that's a little bit nicer. Okay. Let's see if we can find some a little bit slower music. Yeah, so this is electronic. I wanted this like slow electronic music. How is this gonna? Is this anything? Yeah, fine. Ooh, jazz. Okay, cool. All right, let's just go ahead and start this. So the way, so I used to work on this a little bit at the school where I was teaching this, and there I was pretty focused on just making sure that this actually worked, and I made it in a way that was the most the easiest way to explain this to the students. So what I want to do now is I think I want to go in and just gonna make it a little bit cleaner. So jumping in and yeah, like I'm not necessarily teaching beginners this. So yeah, cleaning up some of the stuff that I wanted to do better, but didn't because I was trying to make it simple. So let's just take a look here. So this is what we ended up with. So the prototype or the game itself has these has enemies, and the enemies I can shoot and I can control them, and I believe nothing happens when you win. You have the score there, and yeah, there's no end condition or anything like that. So what I want to do first, and one of the reasons why I started this, is I saw on Twitter someone talking about having fun. Yeah, someone who's having fun just messing around with fonts. So I thought that sounds fun. So I'm just importing a new couple of like font and typefaces that I saw someone use. I'm gonna see if I can make my Space Invaders look a little bit more retro, and I'm thinking about if I should change the camera, kind of the size of the window, and make it. I wonder how. That's 20th monitor. How does that look? Yeah, something like this. Yeah, that's just fine. Okay. So let's just go ahead and change the Space Invaders thingy here. The pixel. Let's see, yeah, the game screen here. Let's go. We'll move this over here. Right. So I'm doing all of the UI in the same kind of area. So I just imported a new font into the project, and I'm just gonna see how it looks if I switch over to it. Yeah, I think this is kind of cool. So how does this look? Yeah, Space Invaders, very pixelated. I have another one. Is this better? Bolt one. Yeah, I think I like the bolt one the best. Yeah, here we go. So this is, now I have these this pixelated. Okay, I can also see that in the prototype that I'm doing here, I haven't messed with the camera and made this orthographic. So I'm gonna go and find the camera. The camera is probably on the pawn. I also have to be go and familiarize myself a little bit with this again. Go in here, go into the camera. Oh, it is in orthographic mode. So if I do play, why am I seeing? Didn't I see perspective? Guess not. So okay, perspective is here. Let's change the score as well. Score goes into the it's in the UI here. Take the score, turn it into, let's change to the lighter font, the mono font. That's cool. And we can make this font be the bold one. And yeah, I think I just threw this. This doesn't have any logic connected to it. So we have, let's just get rid of this here, and we're not using the different levels here anymore. Okay, so now we have the low poly. Let's just get rid of these. We have the low poly versions up and running. Low poly pixelated one. So okay, cool. So now this is kind of looking a little bit more like what I wanted to try out. So another thing that I kind of wanted to test was can I do r.screen %10? No. I was kind of hoping I could lower the screen percentage to make the game a little bit more pixelated. Guess I can't do that. Okay, so so this took a lot less time than I thought. So let's just find something else to do. Here is my score. I have these graphics. Things are moving down when they can. We can build an kind of end like an end goal. I think that's maybe what do I want to do with this? I guess that's the question. So I want this to I want it to look something like this, I guess. Right. So the projectiles there are actually going through the ground. This doesn't look great. Oh, I'm not taking damage. Okay, so so maybe first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna see if I can actually build a Space Invader, an enemy. So I'm just gonna go into Google, Google Space Invader, and this is what came out of that. So this is a Space Invader, but do I want to do that? Probably should have figured out what I wanted to do beforehand. All right, so I'm just gonna jump in and go. I'm gonna go fix some blueprint. So the enemy spline logic that I did, this never worked. So I'm just gonna get rid of this blueprint. Yeah, I know what I can do to get myself started. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this to Git. So I'm opening up Visual Studio Code here, and I'm going to open this folder in Visual Studio Code. That's going to be under, let's see, under work and Space Invader. So this is the folder that I want here. And the way I do this, it can be done in many different ways. I'm just going to go into a terminal here. I'm going to do git initialize, and then I get an empty git kind of folder. And then I'm going to go into one of my other projects, and I'm going to copy a git attribute file. Let's take this one here. I'm going to get a git attributes and a git ignore file. And let's just do it like this. Here we go. And what this is going to do is that, like, the if I have the git ignore file, for example, ignores well, this should actually ignore the intermediate folder as well. Right. So I guess I'm gonna have to do this myself. Let's just do git ignore. We don't want the intermediate files. We don't want saved. And I don't know what script is actually. So script isn't something that I made. So let's just get rid of that. We don't want the data cache, derived data cache, like this. All right, so this is okay for now. So I'm gonna go git add dot get attributes and git add ignore, and then I'm gonna commit that and say add the git ignore files, and then I'm gonna go git add all of this. I'm just gonna double check into the attributes file that the umap and uss files are here. Yep, here we go. And then I'm gonna go git status and git add. Okay, so I'm adding the starter content here. So just git commit initial commit. So now I've committed all of the original stuff. I'm gonna go and make a repo really quickly. Here we go. And browse repos, new repo, space invaders. Wait, there's public, because why not add yeah, I don't need anything, no readme, just make it public. I'm gonna give it this license. I don't know exactly what the why this is the license, but like just someone just told me you have to add a license to it whatever you do. So but that's something that I should probably know about. So now we have this here. I'm gonna go git push, and then it's gonna tell me git remote. Yeah, so I was gonna be really cool about this, and yeah, I'm definitely not gonna be cool. So I am supposed to be able to just to git remote at origin space invaders, git push. Is this gonna work? It's probably gonna get a conflict because of the license file, I think. Or maybe it's gonna overwrite the license file. Or it will just push and work magically, which I would be very happy if it did. So uploading tens and tens of megabytes of the standard content. But yeah, I'm really liking. I really like what's going on with the with GitHub and all sorts of things through there. Like I'm using the GitHub Actions. I'm using GitHub. I'm using GitHub Actions, and I'm using GitHub tasks and all of that stuff. So that's something that I wanna get more into. And yeah, GitHub Actions is amazing. So while this is finishing, let's make something else. So let's decide what we want to do. So we could do something like a menu, start menu, but maybe not. Maybe I just want to make the game a little bit more fun. So how do we do that? While this is pushing, I'm just going to go up again into Unreal. And if I go in here and I press play and I ask myself, okay, so what is my goal here? Like I am trying not to die. So they're shooting incredibly slowly, and when I die, things are then I'm just gone. So let's set up. I know I did this in one of the last videos, but I didn't take that with me to school. So let's set up some sort of a game mode and some notifications on the state of the game. So when I die, what I want happening is I want to be able to do an action effectively. So and the game mode is where we want that to happen. So let's get retro text. Oh, let's use these let's see the tasks, the goals here. Okay, so we've already added the retro text, so I didn't have much more planned for this session. I really just wanted to try out my my environment, but But yeah, let's go ahead and say we want to add a add lose condition, and we're gonna add a win condition. Okay, cool. So I've added lose condition and win condition now to the HUD, and now I have a pretty good idea of what I wanted to do. It just took a few minutes for me to center and focus. So what I'm going to do is I want to know when I lose and I want to know when I win. And I'm going to do that inside of the game mode. So we have a custom game mode here with no logic. And I'm going to add a new custom event here, and I'm going to call it trigger game state changed. And I'm going to say the game state itself is going to be I'm going to make an enum here. And when I did this for the students, I think I was using I just used a string and a switch, not as to not complicate this, but this I think is probably better. So I'm going to do e game state, e for enumerator, and I'm going to do victory. I'm going to do loss. So the game state is in. Just start with these two. So we go into the game mode again. And this is going to be game state. And we're going to say new game state. And we're going to change this to set new game state. So this is something that I like. This is a pattern that I don't really like very much, because set new game state, and yeah, let's just take a look at how it's going to look. So this is going to be current game state. Game state is probably a bad word for this, because I think this is a concept that actually exists in the in Unreal. So once this happens, I'm also going to fire off an event, and I'm going to say on game state changed. And on game state changed is going to let us know the new game state. Call like so, like so. Okay, so this is, so when we call this, we set the new game state. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do the actual logic that happens when the game changes. I might not even need this. So here, then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get the new game state. I'm gonna do a switch on the game state here, like so. Try to clean this up a little bit. And on victory, do we need to do this? I'm actually not sure. To start by doing a print string. Winner is you. And say loser is you. One of the kind of early fun areas where someone messed up some of the translations in a game. Winner is you. All right, so now what we're going to see is that once we, when we go into the pawn itself, so the player pawn, that if the player pawn here is destroyed and we only have one in health, we destroy the actor, but first we're going to get the game mode. I'm going to cast it to PP game mode. So, and I like to do the pure cast. It's just that convenience for the note here, and I don't have to deal with this because I only have one game mode. And I'm gonna do on trigger set. Who's got game? Is it set? Let's see what we called it. Go in here, and the event we called. This is a player pawn, this is a game mode, and our function is called PP game mode, set new game state. So we do set new game state and a loss. So this means that when the actor is destroyed, the pawn itself, we say that the game has been lost. And here is an excellent place to argue over if the pawn should actually be responsible for cleaning itself up or destroying itself, or if we should just notify someone else to deal with the what happens with the state changed. But for now, I'm going to just do it like this. Like this, and then we do a loss, and then we destroy the actor, and we should then, if we lose, we should get a message on the screen saying you lost. Yeah, loser is you. Cool. All right. So then I'm going to go in and I'm going to do the victory condition as well. And the victory condition is actually an interesting one, because this is something that I didn't do for the students, because I didn't have a clean or a simple way to do it. So here, this is how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to, on the game mode is going to have an array, just an array of enemies, actors. It doesn't really matter. Actor. Okay, so and this is going to be enemies in world. So and this is going to be an array. Can't I have an array of this? Yeah. Okay, so whenever the base enemy is created, the base enemy here. So on begin play, here we go. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get I'm gonna get the game mode. I'm gonna cast the game mode, BP game mode, and this is a good opportunity to make a utility function for this. But I'm going to do get enemies in world, and I'm going to do add. And to make this even prettier, I'm gonna say custom event register enemy in world. Let's call it register enemy, and that's gonna take in an actor. And the reason, like, I don't even know why I'm not just doing an enemy. Like, it just doesn't matter here. I mean, I could just as easily do BP base enemy. But yeah, that's fine. And then we go in here and we're gonna say add to our list. Here we go, and we add it here. So anytime that we go into the base enemy here, we're going to do register enemy, and we feed in self. So this means that whenever the enemy is created, we let the game mode know that an enemy has been created, which is kind of cool. Okay. And the other thing then that we were going to do is we are going to say that when the enemy is destroyed, which I think is probably done here, take damage from projectile, deal with it if we're dead, that sounds about right, and here we do destroy actor. So on the game mode itself, I'm going to do custom event, notify enemy has been destroyed, and this is going to take in an actor as well. So enemy, so this is a way for us to to get notified that an enemy has been destroyed. So and we should call it here before actually before we send the right, this is the player pawn, we want to be in the enemy here. We want to go in here, get the game mode, cast the game cast the game mode like so, and we're gonna notify. Didn't I say notify? Notify. Notify. Cast to BP game mode. See. Cast to game mode. BP game mode here. And pure cast. Notify. Destroy it. Cool. And then we destroy ourselves. So self, and this means that we just have to make sure that, yeah, we shouldn't do it anyway, but this means that we can do some cleanup logic before whenever an enemy is destroyed, and then it's going to get destroyed. All right, so let's clean this up here, and now we assume that this here fill an array of enemies that are present in the world. So the rule itself is that once all of the enemies have been deleted, we win the game. We change the victory condition itself. All right, so let's see. Just do a real quick test on the chat because I'm trying out a couple of things. Oh, so that's not good. Has this been there before? Let's see. Someone is spamming. Let's just disable the chat for now then. That's fun. Okay. All right. So I got some weird annoying spam on the chat, but I am going to just disable it for now. Cool. Whatever. So what we were doing, we were saying we're filling an array of enemies that are present in the world. That's what we're doing here. And then we are going to say that any time that an enemy has been destroyed, we do find item. We don't actually have to do this. We can actually just do this fast and loose. We can just say remove item. And if we are successful in removing the item, which we should, we don't even have to check this. We just assume that that the thing is in the world, in the array. So once we remove it, we're going to say length, and this is going to tell us how many enemies there are left in the actual world. Okay, and if once the length has become less than or equal to 0, we set the victory condition game state. What did I call it? New game state. New game state. Here we go to victory. All right, let's see what happens. Now I actually have to play the game a little bit. 9, 8, 7, 2, 1. Okay, and winner is you. Cool. So now we've added the logic that that lets us watch. Each enemy is actually able to kind of notify when it gets destroyed, and we can then keep track of it in the actual game mode. And then if we just make sure that we have, yeah, I'm just gonna do it if it's equal to 0, because I could say less than or equal, but I'm assuming that something really weird went wrong, and there are so many edge cases that could be so yeah. I'm just gonna assume that everything just works. Okay, cool. What I wanted to do now is, if we win, So I have the score. The score is actually clipping in a little bit. Okay, so let's see. So once we have victory, I know that I'm going to make a widget. Just gonna test this out. So I'm just gonna do a victory screen here. So user interfaces. I'm gonna call it based off user underscore victory screen, and this is gonna be on a canvas panel, and it's gonna be text. Put the text to be our thing there. I put it in the center. Save it. Make it better. Make it bigger. 72, and we say victory exclamation mark. And interestingly enough, in the game mode, we can just create the victory screen and add it to the screen. This is definitely not going to work in multiplayer. It's actually just incredibly wrong. So now I have to beat the game once more. Ah. Okay. Okay, cool. So I get the victory screen that I wanted. But the game still kind of just keeps going. So I wanna, like, what do I want to do on the victory screen? Do I wanna text? Like, I know I want to stop the game. So I get I think 18 points in this case here are like you always get 18 points. That's just hard coded. So we have victory here. So that's not much of a game. But if let's see, what's a cool thing to do here? I am thinking about hooking it up with time. Maybe. Well, I mean, I can just as well. So I have the victory screen and I have the victory state. I'm just gonna copy paste my victory screen and call it lose, not love screen. Lose screen, and I'm gonna say loser. Is it loser? Like, it's such a you have a very aggressive and not very vogue. So let's go back into the game mode here. We just copy paste this logic here, and again, definitely not something that's gonna work in multiplayer. So let's see if I can get this to kill me. Yep, you have failed. Okay. Right. So this is so weird. So now when I press play here, I'm getting it. Well, like I was getting the I see. Oh, that's interesting. So when I die, I go into another camera. Okay, so that's interesting. So this is why I'm getting the. So this is why I'm getting the non-orthography kind of camera angle here, because I go into another camera. So I'm going to go here and say when we are updating the score. Yeah, I wanna get the time into this somehow, just to make it like more fun. Okay. How fast can we do this? Okay, victory. kind of like the... Is it... Okay, you failed. Okay, so the text, the failure text is a little bit too big. So maybe we just add a... something like this. So I don't have a retry or anything like that yet. Well, the first shot didn't hit me. That's interesting. Okay, you failed. So I know I could freeze the game, but how would I? I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. So this is why we design upfront, not right away. So I'm just gonna make this into 62 maybe, and the same here, 62. Okay. Yep, I have failed. Let's just go ahead and then just add the time here. We're gonna have the actual, we're gonna have the game mode track the time. So we do go to the game mode. Does the game mode tick? Yep, it ticks. We are going to get current time. I'm gonna say current. I know I could do get game time in seconds. Lapsed time and plus delta time is going to be this, and then I actually want to round it, and yeah, maybe not great. Okay, so I have elapsed time here, and then I'm going to go ahead and add this to my game screen here. And here we go. It's in a horizontal box, so let's wrap this with a vertical box. And just copy paste this, and we're gonna say for now time semicolon. And here we are we doing a bind? Yep. Let's do a bind. Get game mode. Cast to BP game mode. Just get time. Here we go. And we're going to do it's called format. Yeah, format text. And it's gonna be time do a pure cast. Okay. All right, well, let's see what happens now. So we should have time here. Okay, so it's not updating, which is interesting. Let's take a look at this here. We're always we're probably always rounding this to. Let's just do it like this then. Like so. We round it in the UI. Yeah. But the score is being right. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay. And here we can go ahead and say here we're gonna round it. Round. Okay. And now we should get a nicer 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. And the problem here is that they are this is controlling how far it goes. Can't remember. Wait for 10 seconds. So we have it aligned to the left here. All right. So isn't it more cool than just to do a... Yeah, I'm not gonna do this right now. This can be easily fixed because... But now we have, we need to make this a little bit smaller for our hard-coded values here. Let's just say 18, 18, 18, and 18. Better, yep. And then we don't need all of that padding on the left, so let's do 32 and 32. Okay. Okay, so now we have time and we have the score. And we have some victory condition, but nothing happens. So I'm getting 18 points now. What? Did I get 18 points before? It was 15. Okay, 18 points. Okay, victory. This is kind of cool. So now we just have to figure out a way to loop it all back, so we can start over. I want the kind of the score to be the time somehow so the faster that you do this, the more score you get. But how do we do that? Yeah, so I have the win and lose conditions now. So all I now need is add the game change the game state. So I guess the question is, do I want a button? If I lose, do I want a button that says restart? It's interesting that the projectile goes through me the first time. Or maybe it always does. Okay, so I can... Right, okay, so let's do something a little bit more fun. I'm gonna go here. I'm going to see what's inside of this. Master was pushed. This is why it created main. So probably go over to main instead of master. I'm going to go ahead and change my... I already did this. We're going to add this and adding at the... let's see, add the win and lose conditions. simple UI. Okay, so what I've started to think is kind of cool is I can go in here under issues or even projects. So let's say create a project, and I'm gonna say, can I? Okay, I'm gonna do issues. And I'm gonna do a new issue, and this is gonna be a game. Enemies should freeze if the player loses the game. Then we do see the description. And right, so this is not a, I was gonna make this a task somehow. Edit. Assign to me, label task. Yep. And no project. Okay, cool. New issue. There should be a high score, or we should say the time and the points should accumulate to the final score. Okay, and let's see if I play it again. Okay, merge into main instead of master. Okay, and let's see if these let's take a quick look here. Okay, so we say losing the game should give the player the option to try again, and winning the game should give the player the option to try again. Yeah, okay, this is the same one here, losing or winning. Okay. I think this is it. So losing or winning the game, merge here to a final score, or the enemy should freeze. Right, and then the player should freeze when the winning the game. And then lastly, I'm gonna say, there was one more. The pawn should not be destroyed when, or let's say the spectator pawn, the camera, let's just focus on like the camera should be consistent through when the player dies, it should stay in ortho mode. Cool. Okay. Is there anything else that I wanna do that's not gonna be art? Just play this again. I mean, there's just some content work, I guess. But yeah, no, I think this is enough for today. So